I'm pleased to join my colleagues from Connecticut and from New York and the others who have been here on the floor today to talk about the importance of avoiding, I guess I should say, the potential for the student loan interest rates to rise at the end of June. The fact is that the United States workforce needs to have the skills to compete in a global economy. And that means making sure that college is affordable, because so many of the new jobs that are being created require higher education. And the reality is that students today face ever-growing tuition rates, and that student loans are a critical bridge for them to cover these costs. But unless we act, over 7 million students, 38,000 in my state of New Hampshire alone, 38,000 who rely on subsidized Stafford student loans will see an increase in their student debt when they graduate. Now, this is a particular problem for us in New Hampshire because our students have the highest average student debt in the nation. They are graduating with just over $31,000 in debt per student. And not only do they have the highest average debt, but 74% of our college students are in debt, and that's the second largest number in the country. So we have the highest average debt, the second highest number of students graduating with debt. The fact is that students in New Hampshire and across this country need some relief, and doubling the interest rate is exactly the wrong way we should be going in terms of policies to promote giving every American the opportunity to succeed. We need to encourage our students to go on to higher education, to advanced degree programs, and to professional schools. Their future employment and our future economy both depend on this. Last week, I had the opportunity to visit two of our state colleges, Keene and Plymouth University. Everyone I spoke with had stories about the escalating cost of college and concern for rising student loan interest rates. And over the past 24 hours, I've heard from hundreds more constituents who are anxious about this. Now, to be clear, the legislation that we're considering would affect current and future students who will receive subsidized Stafford loans starting July 1st. The last thing anyone needs in this economic climate is a reason not to pursue their undergraduate or graduate studies. Megan Jordan of Amherst is a sophomore at the University of New Hampshire. She told the Union Leader newspaper that student loan debt has become a constant concern for her. Megan says that her parents would do just about anything to pay for her college education in full. But with two brothers also in college, the finances are simply not available. Megan views the prospect of interest rates doubling as an attack on college students trying to make a better future for themselves. Sadly, she said it feels like it's a punishment for trying to obtain a college degree. When I was at Keene State College in Keene last week, I met Keith Couch, a parent who has a daughter at Keene and a son at Boston College. Between his two kids, his annual tuition bill comes to $90,000. No wonder he's having trouble figuring out where the money's going to come from. He spends hours trying to figure out how to figure out how his family will make college payments each month. Loans, he said, help bridge that gap. One constituent, Erin, posted on my Facebook wall that her husband recently completed medical assistant courses at Hampshire College in Manchester. He's due to start paying his student loans next month, but he hasn't been able to find a job in his chosen field. Erin said that family finances are tight, and if interest rates were to double on the loans they have, there is no way they would be able to pay them back. The stories that I've heard in New Hampshire are similar to the stories that Senator Blumenthal told about Connecticut, to what Senator Schumer's had to say about New York, to what we're hearing from students and families across the country. Higher education is essential for economic opportunity and personal growth. It's equally essential to the prosperity of our country. And most important, the prospect of higher debt levels affects whether people choose to enter college to begin with. When I was in Plymouth last week, at Plymouth University, a student stood up and he said, you know, I want to teach history. He said, but tell me why I shouldn't just drop out of college and be a mechanic. I said, well, I like teachers myself, and we need more of them. But in this rapidly changing, highly competitive global economy, we should be doing everything we can to make sure that college is more accessible to Americans so that we don't have students across this country saying, why should I not drop out if no one supports my getting a college education? It's critical for all of us. And unfortunately, high debt burdens have serious consequences for individuals, for families, and for the economy. Student loan debt affects where graduates live, the kinds of careers they can pursue, whether they can try to start a new business, when they can start a family, when they can purchase a home, when they can start to save for retirement. Our students deserve better. We need to get rid of any obstacles that are keeping our students from getting the education they need to succeed. We should not put more obstacles in their way. We need to come together, Democrats and Republicans, to stop this increase in student loan interest rates and to do what's in the best interest of our families and our young people who need that college education. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I yield the floor.